Pause for a second.
This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay McLovin here on ESEN, the afternoon show with Gonzo, Big Glenn. Tony took a day off to go see his granddaughter do a play, so he won't be with us today. But how's everybody doing?
Doing fantastic, man. Just got my Black Ops 7 right when we went live, so it's a good. That's always a good day.
What is that, Black Ops 7? Is that like a PS5 game or something?
Yep, Call of Duty.
Oh, is that Call of Duty? Okay.
It just released today, so.
Nice. Gonzo, man, how you doing, brother?
Not too bad. Pretty nice day out. Not too bad at all.
It's almost 6-7 if they ain't already 6-7.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. All right, well, let's jump right into it, man. First thing, obviously, the title of the show is Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, keep winning. Let's start off with the MVP on the NL side, and we'll talk Ohtani for a second. Gonzo, Ohtani just seems to keep racking it up, man. Is he deserving? Is there anybody else in the National League that you thought should have had it over him?
Not really. I mean, he's going to get it most years now because everybody's so fascinated because he's pitching and hitting. But I mean, Schwarber had a case, but I think Ohtani had done a little bit more, so I didn't have a problem with Ohtani getting it again.
Yeah, I felt like Schwarber had a really good season. That probably would have been the one I would have put up with him. But yeah, Big Glenn, man, Ohtani keeps racking up the hardware, man. What are you thinking about it? And like I said, is there anybody you think besides Schwarber who could have challenged him for it?
Other than Schwarber, I really can't come up with anybody else off the top of my head that would definitely be in contention for that. So it's either Schwarber or just get the son bitch to Ohtani, you know?
I mean, that really is the same like this way to go. I mean, the guy got MVP, had a really, pretty decent postseason, got the World Series ring. I mean, I don't know how much more you could ask, from him. And like Gonzo was saying, he seems to be like the guy that's probably going to get it for a while. Do you agree with Gonzo on that as well?
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the talent that's currently in the NL. There's more parity in the AL, which leads them to our next thing.
Real quick, do you guys think if he continues with the level of success that he's having, that he's going to want to redo that big contract that he just had deferred, or do you think he continues to roll with where he's at? Gonzo?
Yeah, I don't see him. I don't know. It'll depend. I don't see him probably renewing it. If he does, it'll be a few years. A lot of it, I think, will depend on how things keep going. Plus, a lot of it will depend on what happens with the this collective bargaining agreement with MLB that is getting ready to come up as well. So, I think we have to wait and see what happens with the CBA, and then we'd have a better feel on what might happen with contracts.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's going to be real interesting to see the way this CBA thing rolls out. Gonzo, we're going to switch over to the AL side of life. Obviously, Aaron Judge has got the hardware again. Is there anybody? I'm assuming when it was in the pre-show we talked about Cal Raleigh. Do you think that Cal Raleigh should be considered for the NL side instead of Ohtani? Excuse me, instead of Judge. I apologize.
I mean, he was considered. He got 13. He got 13 of first place votes. So I mean, Judge didn't just run away with it. Ohtani had all the first place votes in the National League MVP. In the AL, Judge had 17 first place votes and 13 second place votes. And it was just flip for Raleigh. Raleigh had 13 first place votes and 17 second place votes. So it was a close running. I think you had to give it to Judge. I mean, Raleigh had a hell of a year, but Judge was hitting almost 100 points better than what Raleigh did for the season. Raleigh only had 7 more home runs than what Judge had as well. So yeah, I don't have a problem with Judge getting it, but I wouldn't have had a problem if they'd have gave it to Raleigh either. I wouldn't have been bitching either way. I think both guys deserved it. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't really have a big problem with. I mean, like I said, you give it to Cal while he's doing. He's the first catcher to be able to put up them kind of numbers as well. But I mean, if you look at Judge too, he had a hell of a year, probably one of his best years. So even from when he's won his other MVP, so I think I don't have a problem with Judge getting it at all.
Big Glenn, let me ask you a question about this. Let me flip the script on this a little bit on it. Chase sucks. Man, I know, Tony. Hey, we can't all be you, baby. Some of us, hey, you get the B team today. I can't always have the A team in here, Tony. Big Glenn, let me flip it. Let me ask you a different way. Raleigh, man.
Why a year, man?
Hey, let me ask you this. Hold on. There is a lot that he does for that team outside of just the hitting stats, right? I mean, the hitting stats are one thing. I think he crushed it in hitting, but he also really has Seattle's bullpen. I mean, bullpen and starting rotation doing quite well. And when I look at him, and I know we've asked this question a lot of times, who's more important on the team, the pitcher, the catcher? And a lot of times, a lot of people have said the catcher is the most important, which I can understand that because he's calling the shots. Yeah, the pitcher may go at it. But do you think with the way that Cal Raleigh has been able to call baseball games, in addition to the way he's hitting, that maybe that should have had a little bit more weight than what Aaron Judge is doing?
Yeah, but also I see why they chose Judge over him. Just because the consistency and the 100 points better in that way. So it's one of those kind of things. There's with the MVPs on the AL side, there's much more parity than there is on NL.
That's a good point. Guys, let me ask you that. I mean, like, what would Kyle Raleigh, if he wanted to be MVP, would it be more beneficial for him to just get out from behind the plate like Biggio did a long time ago? And then Biggio probably put Biggio on second. He wanted to have like 3,000 hits. Would Kyle Raleigh be more beneficial or have a better case to get that type of voting if he was in a different position where he could focus more on his hitting and less on the game calling and the hitting?
Not sure. I can't really.
So.
I can't really say on that.
I don't think so because he put up an MVP type year this year. Being a catcher isn't what stopped him from getting MVP. What stopped him from getting MVP was the season Aaron Judge had. There was just another guy that had a great season as well. So I don't think being the catcher held him back. If he wasn't playing catcher, what are you going to do? Just DH? I mean, and then he's not helping his team as much as he was. So in a way, that almost makes him less valuable than more valuable. So. Yeah, I don't think catching held him back. Like I say, he had a great year. I just think Judge had a little bit better year.
Let me ask you a different way, Gonzo, and Glenn, I'll let you wait on this as well too. We talk about Ohtani, and a lot of people say, well, and I agree with this, by the way. He's an amazing pitcher, right? Probably one of the best in the game, and he also is one of the best hitters in the game as a two-way type guy, and a lot of people will give him that. But at the end, they also say that catching is one of the most important positions on the team. Wouldn't some people consider that to be like a two-way type player that you're calling such amazing games and you're also getting amazing hits? I mean, wouldn't that carry or should that carry some weight in the decision?
Yes.
I mean, it probably did. It probably did some. I just think I just think Aaron Judge had a little bit better season. I don't think it was anything that Raleigh did wrong. Yeah, and I mean, I think catcher is one of the most important positions. I agree with what you're saying, but one thing I don't agree with what you said. I don't think Ohtani is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Is he a good pitcher? He's a
Yes.
good pitcher. He's not a great pitcher. He's a good pitcher. Now, is he a great hitter? Yeah, he's a great hitter. But me personally, I don't think he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. I think Yamamoto's a hell of a lot better pitcher than Ohtani is.
I was just getting ready to say that, Gonzo.
But it's interesting though, because Yamamoto's he had a decent regular season, but he really turned it on in the playoffs. I mean, he really got really good in the playoffs.
Ohtani didn't have a good regular season pitching.
But I get it. But you also have to give Ohtani a little bit of leeway because it's still coming back off that Tommy. Even before
that, I didn't think he was one of the best pitchers in the league.
I'll have to go back and look on his ERA. I thought he had around an under 3 ERA though, or close to 3 before the Tommy John, before the injuries and all that. I thought his ERA was around 2.50 to 2.6, somewhere around that neighborhood. Which again, I'll have to go back and double verify that. Don't hold me to that. But I'm in my brain, I'm thinking he had somewhere around 2.6 to 3.1, somewhere in that neighborhood. I thought was where his ERA was before that. Could be wrong on that. But we'll move on. Let's talk before we get into football. I want to kind of go into basketball just for a second because I know you had some breaking news on the Pacers, Glenn, on another injury. You guys, he had Naismith go down, I believe, with the MCL sprain.
It's not official about MCL sprain. It was labeled as left knee soreness last night, but when he went down, that left knee didn't look all too well. So we were waiting for MRI, but per Rick Carlisle yesterday after the game, which would have been just after midnight this morning, so pretty much said they dodged the bullet as far as a long-term injury, but he will definitely be missing some time. Which to me, I've watched Pacer basketball pretty much my whole life, and have known Rick from his previous in Indiana, and it's one of those kind of things that kind of language tells me that he's probably going to be out till at least the All-Star break.
Man, with the MCL, you think he comes back that fast? Well, you're not really going to know, but
yeah.
And also, you don't know the severity of the tear, or is it really a tear? Could it be just a slight tear? I get what you're saying.
I feel like it could just be a sprain in that way, and at the very least. So
now, Gonzo? I think you guys got. Correct me if I'm wrong. You got so Obi Toppin is down. Naismith is down. Obviously, Halliburton is still down. Is there any other notable injuries outside of those three that I'm missing?
Nembhard's still down there.
Nope, he's been back. He just came back this week.
McConnell's down.
Nope, McConnell came back on against Jazz. He's been on minutes restriction. We got a lot of G League guys playing right now. We're pretty much are playing the Nobles will boom right now, pretty much, with the exception of a couple top guys.
Yeah, because I see Matt Thurin's out, Naismith is out. Man, you're down to Nembhard, Siakam, Bradley, and Ben Shepherd. That's rough. That's rough to compete with that. I mean, there's been a lot of teams that have gone through some things, but you guys are really battling with some injuries, man.
The funny thing about last night was even worse because about FanDuel Sports Indiana, they was having technical difficulties on the broadcast in like the first part of the fourth quarter, and they had to put up a technical difficulties in, and they had to have Chris Denary, which is the play-by-play guy, calling in on the phone, and it sounded like he was in the floor of the sunken Titanic because of the way he was sounded, and that's the perfect analogy for how the Pacers season has been this far,
What's up, Joe? Yeah, Joe. So just your track, and we play Portland tonight. I'm not. Are the Pacers playing tonight?
No, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, should be some good games though. I mean, you're gonna have Warriors and Spurs going at it. That should be a good one. Clippers, Mavs, but I'm not. That'd be. Okay.
Are you guys happy? You guys got rid of Derek Burks though, or Dylan Burks?
That
dude was a head case last night.
Yeah, I do miss the one thing about Dylan is you kind of need that guy that's a disruptor. Yeah, and the one thing I do like about Dylan is that dude is a straight disruptor.
Yeah, he's a disruptor, right? He was getting in everybody's face last night.
Man, which can be a good thing or a bad thing at times. I kind of look at him as like a Dennis Rodman or a Draymond Green type of guy. You know what I mean?
If he's
Kind
the
of get in your
top
head a
guy,
little bit.
yeah. Granted, he's teaming with Derek Book, but Burke, or yeah, Devin Booker or whatever, how you pronounce his name, and shit. Uh, with him being like the number 2, number 3 guy, man, he's gonna be getting too much in his head, and he think he's gonna be wrong on test. That's dangerous.
It's interesting. Just switching over a bit. The Sixers came out really guns a blazing that first week, and of course, it's still a super super young season, but they look like they've kind of cooled off just a tiny bit. And the Pistons, man, at 10-2 are looking really nice right now. How much do you put on the Pistons right now, being serious playoff contenders at 10-2, and where they're going? Gonzo, I'll just start that one off.
Yeah, go ahead, Gonzo.
I really can't say much on it. To be honest with you, I haven't watched any NBA yet this year, so
I got a lot to think about that. I think that they are legit a contender. I think they're definitely a top 4 team. With their experience when they went up against New York Knicks in the first round last year, man, they was able to hang with New York. So that told me that they're probably about ready to make the next step. And this year, they're unfortunately are going to do that. I think they'll get out of the first round.
The Pistons and the Rockets started their rebuild right at about the same time, because when Cade Cunningham went 1, then I believe the Rockets got the G League what's his name, Green at number 2, Jalen Green at number 2. And it just seems like, the Pistons and Rockets really just kind of got off at the same time. But it looks like right now, I mean, do you think the Pistons are in a better place with their rebuild than where the Rockets are?
Damn, that's a good question. Maybe just a little bit better. But you guys are just in such a good. Both teams are in great spots right now compared to where they were. So I would say you guys are doing this fine as well as Detroit, even though they're the Pacers rivals. I have to give credit where credit's due, and Detroit is looking pretty nice right now.
Yeah. Gonzo, let me ask you this, dude. Do you think that, you didn't watch the – never mind. I'm going to hold that one back because it really doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just thinking right now, who do you think is the best team? If you had to say one team in the East is the best team in the East, who would you give that to right now? Would you give it to the Pistons based on their record, or would you say, I'm not going that direction because they're still kind of young, and maybe still give it to a different team?
Let me pull up the Eastern Conference standings real quick, Jay. How much?
Don't worry, I already got it for you. So Detroit is 1.
Detroit's 1. Well, it's
New York, the Knicks are at 2.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Philly's at 3, Cleveland's at 4, Atlanta's at 5, and then Toronto's at 6. Those are your top 6.
I would put New York and Detroit 1A, 1B. Okay. I would put them top shelf in that way. I wouldn't have one over the other because they're both right there.
And interestingly enough, though, Jalen Brunson is actually out right now. So it's been rolled out for Friday's game against the Heat.
He rolled his ankle on Tuesday.
He's got what now?
He rolled his ankle on Tuesday.
He's got a grade 1 right ankle sprain, and it's going to be evaluated daily. Now, I don't know a lot about the difference between the grades. I don't know if you guys know anything. Grade 1, grade 2 is a grade 2 worse than a grade 1? Or I don't know. I don't know how the order of that works.
It's like if you're looking at a chart, like a green, yellow, or red. I would say grade 1 is like green. So probably the lowest tier that you can go.
No, Joe. He's had a play with his granddaughter. So yeah, I mean, and I think because that could be big on terms of where the Knicks, if the Knicks fall or if they stay kind of where they are. But yeah, I mean, if it's an evaluation daily, that tells me that grade 1 is just. I just think they're going to take it easy and then wait till he's ready, which is good for them.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. He's their top. Obviously, they're leading scorer, but they also have other weapons that can hold the fort down in that way until he gets back. But if they want to make a deep playoff run, then they definitely gonna need Jalen on that roster and playing big time minutes.
Yeah, I would imagine Miles McBride. He's number 2 on their depth chart, so I'm assuming he would probably just take over that spot while Jalen is out.
Yeah, they got Cat and OG and Anobi and stuff, so I wouldn't be too worried about the Knicks falling too much. The East is so wide open; they could probably stay where they're at, or maybe improve on it.
Yeah. Which one do you think right now is the tougher conference right now? Just based on a handful of games? Would you say that the West is a little stronger, or would y'all say the East is a little stronger?
West.
Is it the West is stronger right now?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. It's pretty much what we just were talking about. The top 2 teams being the freaking the Knicks and Detroit. I mean, who the hell else is even relatively decent? I mean, I'm sure there's teams up there doing well right now. But when you look at the Western Conference, I mean, look at that. I'm not even looking at the standings because I already know how good that West is. Those bad boys over there are stacked.
And San Antonio is going up against Golden State tonight. How do y'all see that faring? Golden State's playing. I mean, they still have a pretty decent team, but San Antonio, he has kind of cooled off a little bit. Not a lot, but I mean, they were at number 2. Denver kind of went up by a game. You really can't read too much into that. But do you think that San Antonio will take care? Yeah. Do you think San Antonio is going to take care of business against Golden State, or do you think Golden State?
I think San Antonio will win tonight, and that game is on ESPN. I'm going to assume.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping Houston. I think Houston gets past the Trailblazers. I'm really hoping Golden State will come in and handle business against San Antonio, because then that would put us up in the number 3 spot, just behind Denver.
About the Trailblazers, man, they looking all right so far.
Yeah. I had not watched much of Portland though. How's that one kid, that the Chinese 7-footer? Have they been playing him at all a lot, or is he kind of
not sure?
Yang or his last name is Hansen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much, but I've seen enough to form an opinion. And they looking like they're gonna be all right, especially with them getting the mob out of the locker room that way, you know.
Yeah. Man, they got him buried in the depth chart. He's only averaging. Yeah. He's averaging like 1 point and like 0.8. Yeah, he's so far down that depth chart. I mean,
you know what's crazy though is who the interim head coach is of Portland right now. It's Thiago Splitter, the former center from the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Popovich's coaching tree, man. I tell you that history is something else, man.
It's crazy. All right, folks, we'll go and get into some NFL, and we'll start that direction now. Let's go ahead and get into last night's game between the Jets and the Patriots. Now, again, Frankie had them annihilating them. I don't think they got annihilated, but they definitely lost by 13. I thought they might have a chance to get it within one possession. I know they had projected if they could have got a score by the 3:25 mark, that they would have had one more drive left in them, and they just couldn't get it done.
So about that, Jay, I think what you're really trying to say is you was praying for the Patriots' downfall in that way, wasn't you?
Yeah. Hey, look, anytime the Patriots, yeah.
I saw your chat. I heard I could see your tone when you was typing all that out. I was like, he's waiting for their downfall right now.
Man, I told Frank, I said, man, I hope y'all lose. And he said I didn't mean it. I said, no, I really do. Gonzo, man, did you catch that game last night at all?
You know, I watched most of the game. I didn't watch all, but I watched most of it. Jets could have made it a closer game if they turnovers and penalties, self-inflicted mistakes hurt them, or that game would have been a little bit closer, or they might have had a chance to win it. New England looked pretty good. New England has to do a lot better at stopping the run. They let the Jets rush for 140 yards. So they're going. New England's going to have to tighten up their run defense. But then offensively, New England was able to throw the ball, and then Travion Henderson is going to end up taking Stevenson's job as that starting running back here before too long. But yeah, it was a solid win for the Patriots, and Jets will have a lot of stuff to figure out.
Yeah, Glenn, when that game started, the Jets, I mean, they went that 72-yard drive and got on the board real quick. I really thought, man, I was like, okay, the Jets came out here and, I guess they're meaning some business. They're not playing around. What did you think about the Jets? But and then obviously then Travion Henderson, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he got the first touchdown right after that, if I'm not mistaken, making it 7-7. So they both scored on both of their opening drives. But Glenn, what did you think about the way the Jets started the game?
They started like I figured that they would need to if they even wanted to make it a game. And sure enough, it was a game for the most part. But it wasn't a perfect game, so that's why you lost.
Yeah, I agree. And Fields, I thought Fields had a pretty good game. He didn't have any interceptions. He didn't really throw for a lot, only at 116. But again, he didn't. I guess he didn't have any interceptions. I always think that's a good thing. We're not throwing turnovers. But then he gave you about almost 70.
He had the big fumble at the end of the game when they were getting ready to try to score.
That's true. That's right. I forgot about that. That's right. They sure did. But overall, what did you think about Fields? I mean, do you think he's any kind of where's the long-term answer? I guess what I'm getting at, or do you think he's just there until they can get a better quarterback?
I don't think he's the answer. I think the Jets were stupid to let Rodgers go and then go pay Fields more money, thinking Fields was the answer. Everybody knew that Fields wasn't better than Aaron Rodgers, so you went and paid a lesser quarterback more money. So yeah, and you signed him to $30 million. Like $20 million this year and another $10 million next year. So, yeah, I think the Jets have to figure out the quarterback position. Definitely, I don't think Fields is the answer. I think Fields is about to the point if he's going to remain in the league, it's probably going to be as a backup.
Yeah, Rob, too. Hey, big shot, Rob, man. What's up, baby? Said Jets always at least one drop where they fool you. I agree, and I think that's kind of where Gonzo's going with that. Which I forgot about the fumble.
Hey, Rob, man, how about those Bears though? They looking all right. They not too far back from taking the NFC North, man.
Let me ask you that. That's a good point, guys. What Rob said, should they turn him into like a Taysom Hill where he's a situational QB and maybe he picks up wide receiver or some other type of duty?
He can do it. No doubt about it, man. The question is, the Jets ain't that smart to do that, though.
Man, I'm telling you.
When Frankie says the best, the Jets are trash, and I mean,
yeah.
I know Frankie, me and him agree on a lot. I mean, we do on some things. But when it comes to the Jets, man, that's all in unison right there.
Let me flip the script. Hey, Rob, we're going to talk about Chicago in a minute. Hang around, baby. Hey, so let me ask you guys this. Drake May, 281, a touchdown, few yards on the ground rushing. Is he – I mean, obviously, the
MVP.
Jets –
not MVP. I know where you're going with that.
Hold on. Now, the Jets' offense might not look the best, but they do have a decent defense, right? I mean, their defense isn't.
They have a good run
bad.
defense. They gave away they gave away their cornerback.
That's true.
They don't have no secondary no more.
That's true. That's a good point. So, based off of that point, the fact that they have given so much of their people away for picks. What does that mean in terms of Drake May, in terms of what he did? Like, they only got him by 13 points, but yet they gutted a lot of that defense, which was their strength. Does that hurt their credibility in terms of what they did? Or should have been more? Or do you think it's okay where they were?
A win's a win. The way I look at it, I don't care how many points the team wins.
No, a win. You're right. A win is a win. But I mean, more like for Drake May specifically in his MVP candidacy.
I didn't have Drake May as the front runner as MVP. I thought May played a solid game last night. He done what he needed to do. He threw for 270-something yards. Like they were able to throw the ball. He was, I think, 13 of 15 in the first half. Like, so he's throwing at a high completion. I thought he played a real solid game. I still think Stafford would be ahead of him, but I think Jonathan Taylor should be the front runner for the MVP right now. And then I would have Stafford and then May. But it's going to go to a quarterback more than likely. And right now, I think Stafford is the guy that's been playing better. But Drake May's playing good, a lot better than a lot of people expected, especially this quick. And I thought he played a solid game last night.
Hey, Rob's right there with you guys. He said Stafford or Jonathan Taylor, which obviously that we all know that you guys believe Jonathan Taylor. Which, by the way, I do think Jonathan Taylor's having a hell of a freaking season. And if it wasn't going to be a quarterback, then I would say he gets it. Big Glenn, I know you're kind of there with it as well.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. And Rob and Joe, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. What would Drake May need to do to change the narrative to be the front runner? What would that guy need to do?
He's just got to keep playing like he's playing, and then Matt Stafford would have to take a step back.
Yeah.
I mean, if he keeps playing like he's playing, he'll have a chance.
Like, do you think if he continues to win, but he doesn't have the big, flashy numbers, but he's getting the wins, that probably would not help his case, you think? Or would he need to have the flashy wins, the big stat sheet wins to get that?
I think you would.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, too. I'm going to get you guys' thoughts on that. They beat Buffalo in Buffalo. If Buffalo comes back and they beat Buffalo again in New England, would that be a catapulting, or does that not really move the needle for you guys versus Stafford or Jonathan Taylor?
Well, it depends on what kind of game he has.
Yeah, more TDs. I agree with Rob on that. The thing is, it's hard to say what he has to do because you don't know what the other guys are going to do. Like Stafford could go out the next 2 games and not play worth the crap, and then somebody else would move up and be up there. Or Jonathan Taylor, heaven forbid, could go on a 3-game skid where he don't do nothing the rest of the season. Like you just never know. Drake May might have 2 bad games, right? So it's hard to say what he has to do. He has to keep playing like he is. I do think he's going to throw some more touchdown passes because Stafford's throwing 2 or 3 touchdown passes a game, and if you're only getting one touchdown pass a game, it's going to be hard to keep up. Or a guy like Jonathan Taylor, who already has 17 touchdowns as a non-quarterback. You know what I mean? Jonathan Taylor could very easily end up with almost 3 touchdowns as a non-quarterback, and that could be maybe more passing touchdowns or just as many as maybe May might end up with. So it's just a lot of it just depends on what happens here in the rest of these games.
Big Glenn, let me ask you this question, and I agree with what you're saying, Gonzo. Let me ask you this question. Do you think that Stafford, his MVP, is a strong benefit because of having, like Rob says, Puka and Adam?
Absolutely. Devontae Adams, hell yeah. I mean, that's one hell of a receiving core right there, man. That's like an all-time fantasy right now. If you got all of those 3 on your fantasy team, you're probably kicking everybody's ass right now.
And I agree with that. And I think that's where Gonzo and Rob are both saying if he had more TDs. I think if you had more TDs and you're getting the TDs with less talented players, that probably would be enough, I think, to put him in that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Joe said, it depends on who you beat to win MVP. And that probably does have a lot. Obviously, it has a lot to do with that. I do agree with you. All right, well, we'll move on from Thursday night. I tell you this, though, guys. I got to be honest with you. This Thursday night game, even though it wasn't the better of the team, I enjoyed this game here more than I did the Green Bay Philly game. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
I have to agree because I mentioned in the chat after the game was over last night. I was like, this game is a lot better than what we've been getting. Those I call them Thursday night duds, where it's like 9-6 and 10-7 shit. You know, it's
No, I agree. I agree. All right, so let's talk a little bit of we're gonna preview some of the bigger games coming up Sunday. Joe, you'll have to come back on Monday. We're gonna do the Cowboys Raiders on Monday. I know you're a Cowboys fan, like I am. I'm really excited for Rams Seahawks. Yeah.
Real quick, even if you want Joe, even if you want to go by who they beat, Matt Stafford has just as good of wins with the than what Drake May does. If you go by that, Drake May has beat the Bills. Stafford beat the Colts. That's just as good or a better win. Stafford also beat the 49ers. That's better than most of the wins that the Patriots have. If you look at their schedules, the Rams have played a little bit tougher schedule than what the Patriots have. So I mean, if you go with that argument, that's not helping Drake May.
That's a good point.
What's crazy though is the fact that Patrick Mahomes is what in the top 3 of odds of MVP. That does not make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. Let me ask you. Okay, let's get into this first game real quick. The reason I'm talking about this game is because of Raheem Morris and where he goes. Panthers are going to play the Falcons at home. It's a 3.5 spread. Raheem Morris. The big question for me with this is do you think if they lose this game to the Panthers that Raheem Morris is done, or how much more do you give him?
Has Arthur Blank ever been? Has he ever fired anybody midseason though? I feel like he hasn't. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I can't remember if Arthur. I think Arthur Blank. I mean, not Arthur Blank. Arthur Smith. I think he got fired at the end of the season. I don't think he was a mid-season fire, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I don't think Arthur Blank is a fire mid-season kind of guy. So I would say if they continue to go down this path where they look like they could contend for a Super Bowl one week and look like the Jets another, then he probably would get fired. But that would be at the end of the season.
Right. Gonzo, what do you think, man? You think if he loses that Raheem's out, or do you think he keeps it?
I don't think he's out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about
I don't think he's out if they lose. Hell, wasn't last year? Wasn't they only like one game from making the playoffs last year? When they were right there, one game from division with Tampa.
It came down
to that was his first year. And if they win this weekend, depending on what Tampa does, they could only be 1 or 2 games out of the division. So and if they do end up losing, I don't think he's out. A lot of theirs, they're just not consistent. One week, like Glenn said, they'll look real good, and the next week they don't look very good. They played a good game last week in Germany against the Colts. Like they played a good game. Colts were just a little bit better that day. But they played a good game. But then, like, they've showed up other times and not played. I think the Falcons win this game. It's in Atlanta. Falcons are 3.5-point favorites. Panthers are great at home. Panthers struggle on the road, and I don't see Panthers offense being able to score enough points. So I like the Falcons here at home. Yeah,
Glenn, do you agree with Gonzo? Or are you taking Atlanta as well?
Shit, I ain't taking the Panthers.
I don't know though. 5-5. Did you expect them to even be 5-5?
The Panthers, no, but I know how Bryce is on the road. Bryce ain't gonna do shit in Atlanta.
I mean, they did beat Dallas with Rico Dowdle. I mean,
that was in Carolina though. That
was in Carolina, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But regardless, though, Rico Dowdle though still. I mean, if they run, you got to imagine they could do a helping dose of Rico. Try to eat up some of the clock, let their defense do the work. Do you think that would be a solid game plan?
It would be a solid game plan, but I still don't think it'll be enough. I think
it'll be enough.
I think Atlanta's offense will be clicking enough to keep them ahead. Like you'll have Penix or whoever the quarterback is going to be tossing the ball to Drake London and Kyle Pitts and hand the ball off to Bijan Robinson, Terry Algier.
So the next game would be Tampa and the Bills. Tampa's got the injuries. Bills still have issues on defense. It's a 5.5 spread. Gonzo, I've always heard if it's a 5.5 spread that's not a good thing. Do you agree with that when it's a 5.5 spread?
It depends on which side you're on. Like if I'm taking the the Bills, if I'm taking the Bills, I would rather have 5.5 than 6. But if I'm taking Tampa, I'd rather let that number get up to at least 6.
Yeah, I can understand. Now, both these guys got a 6-3 record. Both of them have really great quarterbacks for different reasons. Tampa, even though they're not having Bucky Irving, has still shown that they can run the ball. You know, do you think who are y'all predicting to win this? And if so, how much do you think whoever wins it by?
I'll let you go first, Gonzo.
Okay, I think the Bills win the game. I like that the game's in Buffalo. I think the Bills will be able to get James Cook going. And when the Bills can run the ball, they look good. They look good. When they can't run the ball, they struggle. And one of the Bills' weakness has been stopping the run. And of course, the Bucks don't have their top running backs. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills at home.
Right, absolutely. And I think Glenn, you also took the Bills, correct?
No,
You're going Bucks?
I'm going Bucks. I don't think I'm starting to see how Josh Allen's been playing enough, especially since he's on my fantasy. I think the Bucks get this win this week. I think they have enough to get that bad boy done.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And you know, Buffalo, like I said, they've taken some hits in some games. I really feel like they need to get these kinds of wins to start building the momentum if they want to keep or stay in contention to challenge the Patriots at this point. It's so weird to know that the Patriots have the best record. I'm gonna hand it to Rabel and Josh Allen and the players. They are just so incredible. All right. I know Rob 2 Cents said he had Tampa as well. I'm gonna roll with Tampa too. I think the Bills have a hard time with that run, stopping the run. And I feel like that's where Tampa, even though they don't have Bucky Irving, I think they've done a good job still maintaining the run game. So I want to kind of see how that plays out. So I'm gonna roll with Tampa on that one. Joe said, yeah, he said this is a must win for Buffalo. I agree. I think in terms of momentum, it really is a tough win or a good win or a needed win for them. All right, roll on next game. Next game is I'm only gonna talk about this one because anytime Texans play their former owner and Bud Adams, Texans and Titans at it. I swear, if Bud Adams rolls out those damn Love Ya Blue Oilers uniforms, I'm going to have a damn fit because I feel like I can see him being petty and doing that. What do you guys think?
I could see them doing that, but I don't see Titans doing shit though. I see Houston getting this win, but probably not by a lot.
I think Texans win the game, but I think the Titans cover the spread.
Yeah.
I think it was Kendrick Perkins that said that he didn't think that C.J. Stroud was good. He said he had a great rookie season, but hey, he's not the guy. Do you guys?
When you ever listen to Kendrick?
I know.
Perkins
Perk always has. Yeah, he always has crazy takes. I just was curious if you guys had heard that. Which is weird having a basketball guy talk about football, but
I don't
That's
watch
the point.
Perkins.
A basketball guy.
I never seen none of his stuff anymore. I'll probably start seeing more of his stuff now once I start watching NBA again this year, but I haven't really seen none of his stuff here lately.
I actually caught it on Facebook. He was doing a video. He was doing a soundbite with somebody. I cannot remember who the player was he was doing it with, but I do remember the guy that he was doing it with was challenging him heavily on it.
Yeah.
So that was
so my thing with that, it's a basketball pod talking about football, and I'd say as far as Houston is concerned, they should definitely get CJ Stroud a few more years.
Yeah, I agree, and I still don't believe in that offensive coordinator they have. Let me ask you this: what would it look like if the Texans went and got Dable as an offensive coordinator? What could he do for C.J. Stroud, or would he even be good for C.J. Because C.J. is a different quarterback than Drake May and Justin or Josh. My brain went left on me. Josh Allen. Do you think he could do good for C.J. or is C.J. just two different type of quarterback than what he does with?
I think he'd be fine with CJ. But I don't think the problem in Houston is their offensive coordinator. I think their problem is their offensive line. Is the problem
Oh yeah,
offensively?
for sure.
I don't. That's
Because
to
they
me their
can't. They
biggest
can't.
issue.
Yeah, the offensive line is definitely an issue. They can't move the ball for anything right now. If you got any offensive players that play for Houston on your fantasy, I feel for you, man.
Yeah, I keep waiting for him to see Mixon come back and take over the run game, but I have not heard anything saying he's planning on coming back anytime soon. Have y'all heard anything on Mixon or at all? I looked at the injury
No.
report, and it doesn't really give you any information. I don't know if y'all heard anything about that.
You
I haven't
might-
heard
if-
anything. If anybody had heard anything, I thought it would have been you. You're the big Houston. You're the Texans fan around here.
Oh, I knew you'd say that. God
Yeah.
bless you. God
Yeah.
bless
You're
you.
the Texans fan.
You know, you look terrible. You should grow that goatee back. I think you should go a little bit. I miss the days when Gonzo used to have a nice long goatee, and then he
ZZ.
cut it short, and I don't know, something happened.
Yeah, ZZ Top, man. He need, but see, Gonzo needs some aerodynamic stuff going on with it.
I just miss the days when he had that damn goatee.
Yes.
You may want to
It's
consider growing that back. I'm just gonna put that out there. Bears and Vikings. Rob 2 cents. Let's talk about you, baby. Bears and Vikings. Bears are number 2 right now, with a 6-3 record. Not too far behind Detroit. What do y'all think of? Obviously McCarthy's there. What do you expect from the Vikings as a divisional game? It's in Minnesota. How do you see this game playing out? Let me give you the spread real quick, and then Gonzo. It's only a 2.5 spread in favor of Chicago.
No, it's in favor of the
I
Vikings.
apologize. The Vikings. I didn't see my screen didn't. What are you thinking?
I like the Vikings at home here. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think it's going to come down fourth quarter, probably game-winning field goal. But I like the Vikings in Minnesota.
Big Glenn, what are you thinking?
I'm going with the Bears because I'm liking what I'm seeing right now from the Bears in that way. I think they're starting to get things figured out and stuff because the Bears they've been kind of like a purgatory. Not sure what they're doing, but now it looks like they are knowing what they're doing and it's starting to click.
Yeah, and also now that they have, you got Swift as a running back, but you also got that guy, and I must screw his name up, Monangai, how do you say that dude's name? Did I say it? Can they get close to how it's supposed to be said? He's got a hard name to say, but they have a really good two-headed monster, and Ben
Rome
Johnson.
Dunze.
Yeah, and then you got a Dunze over there too.
Yep.
I feel like Chicago is starting to get a lot more weapons than they've had in the past. And Caleb Williams, I think he's starting to show us. At least I'm starting to kind of be a little bit more of a believer in him as the quarterback of the Bears. Has he changed or has he shaped you guys? What do you guys think of Caleb? Is he looking like that guy?
Is Caleb Williams that guy? He's starting to look like he's been getting it figured out.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's playing better than what he's playing a lot better than he was last year. I still think he has quite a bit of ways to go. There's still a lot of times where he gets away from the pass and tries to run the ball when there's guys open. I mean, even that touchdown run that he got the last game that ended up giving him the lead. His first read where he was supposed to throw the ball was wide open. But instead of throwing it, he scrambles and then he ends up getting away and making a play and getting the touchdown. But more times than not, sometimes that don't happen. So you got to be able to go to execute the play. But I do think you're seeing improvement in him. But yeah, I think this game is going to be a lot like the first time they played earlier in the year, except this time it's in Minnesota. Vikings was able to get the win early in the season. I do think the Bears are playing better now than what they were when these two teams played. So I think it's going to be a real close game. But I'm basically going with the Vikings because they're at home.
No, I get you. I understand that completely. Rob says that Ben Johnson was a godsend. I agree with you. When he was in training camp, he kicks Caleb Williams off the field, then he kicks the offense off the field, and I love it, man. He's instilling that culture. And if you look at it where it's in training camp, where it didn't look like things were gelling like it should be, I was kind of curious to see what this Bears team was going to be. And you can start, and it goes back. And Rob, I'd like to hear what you say this. It goes back to what Tony was saying, culture over talent. And you can see that Ben Johnson is putting the culture into that team. Rob, I'd like to see I know you said he's a godsend, so you got to imagine that he is really changing the culture of your team over there in Chicago. And Rob, I'd like to know, how do you feel about Caleb Williams? And do you see him are you really 100% sold that he's going to be your franchise guy, or do you think he takes a step back going forward or even into next year? I'd be curious to know what you say in the comments. While you do that, we're going to move on to the next game. And next game is, we're going to keep it there, Packers and Giants. Now, a couple of people that I know did suicide pick'ems actually picked the Giants over the Packers. It is in New York. There is no Scattaboo. And there is no Malik Neighbors. I don't know, man. I mean, do you think that the Giants beat the Packers? I'm still rolling with the Packers and Jordan Love on this. I still think they got the better team right now, but how do you guys view it?
I think the Packers win the game. I'd stay away from this game on the spread. I don't trust Green Bay's offense to score enough points to beat anybody by more than 7 points, and the spread's 7.5. Hell, the Packers defenses gave up less than 15 points the last 3 games, and they lost all 3 of those games. So I think it's going to be probably going to be a low-scoring, close game. I do think the Packers get the win. New York just with so many injuries, and now you fire the coach, and then you're you're starting your third-string quarterback. So yeah, I think it's a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but I do think the Packers find a way to get the win.
Clint, I got a different question for you.
Oh, I want to answer the one that you gave Chris, because I got some.
Oh no, that's fine. And then I'll give you both of you guys a follow-up question, because I have one more question about that. But go ahead. What is your give your feedback?
I tell you what, man. Anytime an NFL team fires a coach, the team is rejuvenized in some way or another. And I think the Giants are going to get this bad boy done, and Jameis Winston is going to eat a dub on Sunday. Because, Packers, they've taken a step back. Jordan Love is looking like he's not the answer for Green Bay. He hasn't had a productive year that I figured he was going to have, So.
Right. Yeah, I get that. My final question is, obviously, Kraft at the tight end spot was huge. I mean, you can see he was a very big part of that offense. Now that obviously Kraft got injured, do you think that not having Kraft is part of what sent Green Bay down the spiral offensively?
No.
Or go ahead. You can go first.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go this time. No, and I'll tell you why. They still have Romeo Dobbs and those other guys, that they've had. So I just think his Jordan Love's production has not been where it should be, regardless of who is in there, who is out.
Ronzo?
I mean, it hurts him, but Love, even when he had Kraft, I mean, Kraft had a couple big games, but they still wasn't consistent. Their offense still wasn't consistent. But don't get me wrong, losing Kraft is a big loss for him, because he was Love's security blanket. But yeah, Love is just. There's one game he'll look real good, and then it seems like the next game he just isn't playing very well. So he has to get more consistent. They got to figure out a way to get more consistent, especially on the offensive side of the ball, because their defense is playing lights out, and offense is not being able to take advantage of it at all.
Yeah, Rob, I do appreciate you not calling Dallas the cow turds. I'm glad you show us still a little bit of respect, so I appreciate you on that. And I do agree that Eberflus was not the answer. He's certainly – I mean, I can't really say about Dallas's defense, because the last 2 quarters, even Dan Quinn had a hard time with this. I think a lot of Dallas was just on the players.
Eberflus was living off his name that he made that nice year that the Colts had. So ain't that right, Gonzo?
Eberflus is a good defensive coordinator. He is.
Joe said, "No way in hell, Giants beating Green Bay." I mean, hey, I tell you though, listen to what Gonzo and them were saying about that offense, and there's a good point. I mean, they got some issues over there.
James Winston,
Um,
baby.
I'm telling you, man. And I'm telling you, man, Green Bay is just they're just going down and down and down in the standings. I mean, it's incredible. And I didn't think I would say that about the Packers, but wow.
Yeah.
Bengals, Steelers, we'll bypass that. I think everybody knows how bad the Bengals are. The only thing I want to ask you about the Bengals is, do we know if Joe Burrow is back now off of that injury? Is he back fully?
He has been practicing limitedly, I do believe.
He's not playing
They,
this week.
yeah.
Okay,
They
so he's
said
still out. Okay.
if he gets up to the speed that he wants to, I think he'll be ready by Thanksgiving. But they might be honestly, the Bengals might be out of it by then. So
I think this is going to be a close game, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Bengals win this game.
yeah, especially with Flacco.
Hold on a minute. Ooh, hold on. Hold on. Where's
the
it?
Bengals fans would love that, wouldn't you, Chris? Yeah.
It's a pretty good tape there. I got to hear your reasoning why. Given how bad their defense is it just is it because? Well, why is it? Why do you say that? Like, why do you believe that so hardly that the Bengals could keep it close given their defense?
Did we just see the Bengals?
Have you seen the Steelers play defense other than the game versus the Colts?
Well, that's a good point. Damn,
Steelers defense hasn't been very good other than that one game. I think the Bengals will be able to score some points. I think it's going to be a close game, and Pittsburgh's offense can struggle to put up points. So I do, and it's a division game. I think it's going to be a good game.
You think it's going to be a repeat of the game that they just had a few weeks ago? Bengals and the Steelers.
Let me look. Let me look at the score. Maybe it'll refresh my memory of the game. I'm trying to remember that game.
Bengals.
The Bengals beat the Steelers 33-31.
Damn, I didn't remember.
That was in Cincinnati. That was in Cincinnati. Now this one's in Pittsburgh. That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be a close game.
The only reason I'm asking that is
Glenn. That was the game. Didn't
that was the one that Flacco came in and like they went down to the last couple minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Rodgers or Pittsburgh scored to take the lead, and then Flacco let them down to get the field goal to win.
Yeah, and Flacco or Rodgers about had the game winner, but they didn't get lucky enough that time.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. This is because this game has a lot of implications, more so than all the other games that they've had. Ravens are 4-5. They're 5-4 for the Steelers. Their Steelers are obviously playing the Bengals, and the Ravens are playing the Browns. If the Steelers don't get this win today, they're gonna, and the Ravens do, they could very well find themselves in a tie for first place. I mean, there's a lot on the line for both the Ravens and the Steelers at this point.
That division's always been that way. It's always like the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Ravens. And it's just like a triple threat match, and they just kill each other until the other two can't get up from it. You know.
I mean, because I'm just looking at even like some of the standings. If they go to 5-4. Or excuse me, if Baltimore was able to surpass the Steelers, there could be a chance where maybe the Steelers miss out on the wild card. A possibility, anyway. Just given on the, like you said, the way that their standing is, the way that team has been playing, defense.
Yeah.
I expect to see it. I think this Sunday is going to be a good game, a good week to see some good football out of both of those teams. They're both going to be fighting, and they're both divisional games.
Let's hope it's a lot better than that 4 p.m. slate that we knew was crap last Sunday, because that was.
Well, that's a good point.
A blowout.
Next game is Chargers Jaguars. How do you see that playing out? I'm gonna go with Jacksonville on this one. I like what they're doing over there in Jacksonville. I like what Trevor and Etienne Etienne and them are doing. How do y'all see that game playing?
Justin Herbert's gonna go crazy.
You think he's gonna go crazy?
Yeah. I just picked him up in fantasy too, so
yeah, you did.
I'm gonna roll the dice on that one.
Yeah, Chargers are playing good football. Jacksonville just collapsed and let Houston score 26 straight points to come back and beat them. I think Chargers beat the Jaguars.
Do you think that the Jaguars' early success in the season was kind of a fluke, and this is kind of them coming back to reality type of thing?
I think so.
Because they started out the season so good. I mean, they were really coming off pretty strong.
This is one of the years that I'm happy that the Colts didn't play him early. And it's all at the end.
I don't think it's going to be a big game. I think it's going to be a win, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't know. I always say sometimes when you get drubbed, you kind of tend to come out the next game a little bit more fired up. So I don't know. I expect Jacksonville to come out fired up, but we'll see. We'll see how that rolls out. Next game, this is the big one: Seahawks and Rams. Everybody and their mother has been saying, "Who's the better team? Who's the better team?" And on the NFC side, well, now we're going to get to see it. You're going to get Darnold versus Stafford, right? Two really good quarterbacks, two really good teams. What do you? Let me see what this. I'm going to see what the spread is on that game. Excuse me. It is 3.5 in favor of the Rams. It is in the Rams. How do y'all see that playing out? They both have good.
I know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to see the real Sam Darnold because as much hype as he's getting, I don't think he's good, as good as everybody's making him out to be. I think he's going to take a freaking shit on Sunday, and the Rams are going to expose his ass.
Okay. Yeah, Gonzo, what are you thinking about this one?
I like the Rams. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a close game. Seattle's a good team. Seattle's defense has been playing well. Seattle is good on the road. But Matthew Stafford has been playing well. Naku is healthy now. Getting him back's big, and that Rams defense is good as well. Yeah, I like the Rams here at home.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, like I said, they both have great defenses. They both have good offenses. Charbonnet, Walker, they're going to have the game of their lives, I feel like, to really set the tone of the run game, to open up the pass game against that defense. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams only because it's in L.A. I think if this game was in Seattle, I might go more towards the 12th man in Seattle. But because it's in L.A., yeah, I'm going to roll with that one as well. Although I will tell you, though, I am kind of hoping Seattle does it. I really hope Walker has a good game because he's on my fantasy team this week. I didn't have too many choices on this one, so I had to roll with Walker. Let's say a few prayers on that one. A lot of prayers, actually, because I got to play Trash Pandas. But anyway.
We get a rematch of this game here in just about a month as well. So.
Oh, they're going back at it?
Yeah, they're in the same division, so they got to play each other. This is the first time they play, so they'll play again. Play again in December.
It's gonna be good. That's gonna be so good. Next one, Purdy comes back in charge of the Niners versus the Cardinals. Cardinals have been really playing good defense. Kyler is obviously not out, so you get Brissett on this one again. Wow, I'm still rolling with the Niners on this one. I feel like they're going to be the stronger team. But how do you guys see it? Gonzo?
Yeah.
Gonzo?
Go ahead, Gonzo.
I think this is going to be a good. This is going to be another good game. Cardinals, all their losses except the one against Seattle last week have been one basically come down the end of the game. I'm going to go with the 49ers, but there's a part of me that wants to go with the Cardinals since they're at home.
Right. I still don't know when Trey Benson is ever going to come off this damn IR. He's been floating around the practice thing, but they have not. He's still on that IR. So I'm curious to see when they get him back. But Big Glenn. This is nothing but divisional week. All these damn divisional games, but go ahead.
Bang, bang, another game, baby. Niners get it done, yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I definitely think they get it done as well. It's just weird. This is such a divisional week. All these divisional games. Who's next up? Ravens, Browns. Does anybody? It's in Cleveland, but does anybody have the Browns beating the Ravens at this point?
Shit, if you take the Browns, you might want to be retaking your life in that way. No, actually, that's pretty messed up. Go ahead, Gonzo.
Real quick, when 49ers and Cardinals played earlier in the year in San Francisco, 49ers won 16-15.
Yeah, I mean, it was tight. It was tight, and a lot of that had to do with the Cardinals' defense on that one. That Cardinals' defense is just that's one thing the Cardinals have going for them is that defense. So they can ever get that offense to match up with the defense, I think that would be a really strong team. All right, so I guess we all have the Ravens on that one. I don't think anybody
Ravens.
Browns
Ravens all day.
Huh? What game?
Browns Ravens.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I don't think he's gonna take the Browns. I don't think. What you on?
He said, "Oh man, Joe chimes in. He's got the Niners. If anybody picking Cleveland, you belong in the nut house." So.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is we're taking life choices in that way. You know, I wouldn't be. In other words, don't bet on that game if you're gonna be thinking about taking the Browns.
So the next one should be another really strong. Man, this is just straight, almost all divisional. Another strong game. Chiefs and Broncos, and obviously the Chiefs are trying to get back into this thing. And it's in Denver. Gonzo, lead us again, man. Do you think that the Chiefs right the ship and get one step closer to the Broncos?
Yeah, I think Chiefs win this game.
Wow.
Broncos' offense is too inconsistent right now. Their defense is playing well, but their offense, I don't think their offense is playing good enough to beat Kansas City. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
Also, I think it's notable that J.K. Dobbins is out for this game. I don't believe he's playing in this game. So that is a strike, I believe, against Denver on that one. Glenn?
Well, it may be a strike against Denver, but they ain't striking out as far as coming up the plate in that way. So I got the Broncos winning this bad boy, further solidifying the reason why Patrick Mahomes should be in the top 3 of MVP odds.
Yeah, I saw the last one I saw. They had Patrick Mahomes ranked, I think, number 2.
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah. Okay, last game is and Glenn, I just want to make sure you said you're taking the Chiefs as well.
no,
You did the Broncos. Okay,
yeah. Come on,
so we
man.
got 2 Chiefs and the Broncos. I got you, man. I got to clarify. Lions and Eagles in Philadelphia. This is going to be a big game for the Lions because they've been so inconsistent. They need to get this win. Eagles, as you know, Barkley now has come out and said that he's siding with A.J. Brown. And the fact that he feels this offense is just not on point, so it seems to be some very strong voices on that offense coming out against it. So, but again, the Eagles have found ways to win games even when they look bad. Do you guys think that the Eagles continue that theory, or do you think the Detroit takes them down?
No, this with them having locker room issues, this is the week that Detroit comes in and they take one from Philly.
Okay. Yeah. Gonzo, do you feel the same way, or do you think Philly's going to do it?
I think Detroit wins this game. I think Detroit's playing better on both sides of the ball right now. I don't think Philly's going to be able to score enough points. I'm going to go with the Lions.
Do you guys think the Philadelphia Eagles are in trouble?
Yes.
Seeing how now you got Barkley joining in with A.J. Brown?
Yeah, because now you're starting to see crack of the seams and shit, with the locker room chemistry, and just, yeah.
It's a tough day to be a Philly guy.
I don't think they're in trouble. This is the same shit that the media was talking last year and AJ Brown was talking last year, and it didn't affect their team down the stretch. I just think Detroit's a better football team right now.
Yeah.
I think Barkley's just pissed off because that line isn't opening up the holes for him to get his yardage and
like last year.
Yeah. I really think that's just Barkley showing his frustration. All right, we'll talk about the Cowboys game on Monday, so it'll be fresh. So Joe, you'll have to wait till Monday for us to talk about the Raiders and Cowboys. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Cowboys by 500 million.
Well, I tell you what, man. I hope But right now, I'm so shaken with this Cowboys team. I just don't know, man. It's such up in the air with this team right now. I mean, it's crazy.
We need to shake the freaking Jerry Jones out of his position. You know?
Man, I'll tell you, man, I've been waiting for 30 years to shake that man out of his position. For some reason, he just don't want to drop for nothing. But all right, last thing. Anybody got anything y'all want to say before we get out of here? Gonzo or Glenn?
No, I'll be good.
Gonzo, you got any wrestling shows going on tonight?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Nothing going on tonight.
All right, but hey, man, make sure you guys give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed our content. We really do enjoy talking with you guys, and that's how we get our content out to you. You can go check out Gonzo's Sports Room on his YouTube and give him a subscribe. I know he would definitely appreciate that, as well as our Elite Sports Entertainment Network. If we could get a like and subscribe on our network, obviously we'd definitely appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And we guys will catch you on Monday. Y'all have a good one.